Hello, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Aya, please. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Called Demon Story Time. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, for your donations, for any kind of support. I highly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Today we keep reading fairy tales, Grimm's fairy tales, and our story is called Happy Ever After. Oh yeah, we start new chapter. Let me make music a bit quieter. So there will be Cinderella, the Bremen town musicants, King Thrushbird, what? The valiant little tailor, the spindle, the shuttle, and the needle, the wolf and the 7 little kids, the goose girl, Iron John, Iron Man, the poor miller's boy, and the cat, the star mummy. And we start with Cinderella, as I said. There was once a rich man whose wife died, leaving him with a daughter. He married again a woman who had 2 daughters, a little older than his own. However, his new wife was bad-tempered, just like me, and spiteful, and her girls were just as nasty. How cruel they were to the man's daughter. They took her pretty clothes away and made her wear an old grey smock and wooden shoes. She was made to work hard from daybreak till nightfall in the kitchen, carrying water, lighting fires, cooking and washing. They made her sleep by the fireside in the ashes, and because she was always dirty with cinders, they called her Cinderella. Poor Cinderella often felt miserable. Then she would slip away to her mother's grave, where a beautiful hazel tree grew. She would sit by the grave under the tree for a while, and it always made her feel better. One day, a trumpet traveled through the land announcing news from the king. There was going to be a festival lasting 3 days. How lovely. All the young ladies in the country were invited so that the prince could choose a bride. The 2 stepsisters were delighted and immediately started to order Cinderella about clean our shoes, help us into our dresses, fasten our necklaces and bracelets, and do our hair. They instructed. Cinderella obeyed with tears in her eyes. Oh, she would have loved to go to the festival too, but her stepmother had told her she was not allowed. Yeah. Hate injustice. If you could see the picture, drawing, whatever. In any case, she had nothing to wear. The minute the horrid woman and her two ugly daughters had flounced out of the house, Cinderella went to her mother's grave beneath the hazel tree and sobbed. Just then a little white bird snooped down out of the sky and landed on the tree. It threw down a beautiful embroidered dress and slippers. Cinderella's heart leaped with delight. She put on the dress and hurried off to the festival. Everyone was at the ball there, dancing. Cinderella was so pretty in the embroidered dress that no one could take their eyes off her. She looked so different from when she was at home that her stepmother and stepsisters didn't recognize her. They thought she must be a foreign princess. As soon as the prince laid eyes on Cinderella, he took her by the hand and danced with her. Such a brave young man. He didn't dance with anyone else all night, and if any other nobleman come to ask her to dance, he said, "No, she is my partner." Cinderella danced till it was late, but she knew she had to be home before her stepmother and stepsisters. If they returned and found her gone, she would be in terrible trouble. When one of the ball guests was talking to the prince, Cinderella managed to slip away. She ran all the way to the hazel tree and took off her beautiful clothes and shoes and laid them on her mother's grave. The little white bird picked them up and fluttered off with them while she put on her herbal smock and wooden shoes once more. Then she hurried home and took her place among the ashes. When her stepmother and stepsisters returned, they could talk about nothing but the lovely foreign princess who had danced with the prince all night. "How I wish I could have seen her," sighed Cinderella, keeping her secret safe in her heart. The next day, Cinderella once again helped her stepmother and stepsisters into their party clothes. After they had left for the festival, she went once again to her mother's grave. The little white bird swooped down with an even more lovely dress and slippers made of silver cloth. When Cinderella appeared at the ball in this dress, everyone was astonished by her beauty. The prince had not danced with anyone else but had waited until she came. How loyal! He instantly took her by the hand and danced with no one but her. And when other noblemen came to ask her to dance, he said, "No, she is my partner." Yeah. Once again, Cinderella danced till late in the night and then managed to slip away. The prince looked everywhere for her, but he could not find her. By the time her stepmother and stepsisters returned home, she was once more sitting in her work clothes in the ashes. Then came the last day of the festival. Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters went most excitedly, for tonight was the night that the prince will choose his bride. In 3 days you can choose a bride. Wow. Cinderella That's the fairy tale. Anything is possible. Cinderella went to her mother's grave one more time when the little white bird swooped down with a golden dress and sparkling slippers even more splendid than before. I wonder where the bird took the things. Maybe some portal was open. Take you away. Just messing, guys. When Cinderella I promised me. When Cinderella appeared at the ball in this dress, no one could speak for astonishment. Everyone was speechless. The prince danced with her only, and if anyone invited her to dance, he said, "No, she's my partner." When it became late, Cinderella slipped away, but the prince had laid a plan. He had ordered the staircase to be smeared with tar. I guess he tried. Big trap for her. Cinderella was so nimble that she did not stick fast as the prince had hoped, but one of her shoes did, and she was forced to leave it behind. Well, at least something. The prince smiled as he picked up the shoe, even though Cinderella was running off into the night. Here she is running with her beautiful dress. Ta-da! He couldn't catch her. Oh well. The next morning, the prince set out to find the girl whom the slipper fitted. He went from house to house, but no girl could squeeze her foot into the dainty shoe. At last, the prince came to Cinderella's house. How disappointed he was when he saw the two ugly stepsisters. It was clear that they wouldn't be able to fit their big, flat, clumsy feet into the shoe. "Don't you have any other daughters?" he asked the rich man in despair. "Well, yes, one other," said Cinderella's father uncertainly, "but she stays in the kitchen. She wasn't at the festival." That's what you think, father. The prince didn't care. He demanded to see Cinderella at once. Nervously, Cinderella went and bowed down before the prince, who gave her the shoe. "Put your feet in, woman." She seated herself on a stool, drew her foot out of the heavy wooden shoe and put it into the slipper, which fitted like a glove. Yay! And when she rose up and the prince looked at her face, he recognized the beautiful maiden who had danced with him. "This is my bride," he cried. He took Cinderella up on his horse and rode away with her, and they lived happily ever after. That's it, my dear. See you next time. Bye.